Hi, this is Ken from the BB Garage, and today I'm here with the famous
Joe Weiss.
Joe Weiss, yes.
Another mechanic in the garage.
And today we're going to talk about unboxing the Contrology reformer with the tower. So we'll start by taking it out of the box, we'll bring out the parts, and we'll get going. So let's start. So the first thing we need to know is, any safety protocol with opening these boxes?
Oh yes. So there are a lot of staples along the side. I'm going to recommend removing the sides of the box, open it up, and lifting it out of the way carefully. Be careful not to get cut by the cardboard or stabbed by the staples. This is the quickest and easiest method to get in these boxes. So all we need to do, Ken, is grab a hold.
Wait.
Oh.
One more thing we left out.
What's that?
If you guys can open your boxes on a carpeted or a soft spot, even on cardboard, it makes it so much easier because you don't have to worry about scratching stuff. So if you can bring stuff into a carpeted area or bring the reformer into a carpeted area, it makes things so much easier.
I agree.
Okay.
I agree. And also, another big thing, make sure you have enough room to take the product out of the box and set it up. Sometimes you get in a tight space and then you find yourself not being able to put things together.
Okay. You want to take the front, I'll take the back?
Yep.
Okay,
well,
great.
What I like to do is just start on the edge and pull the staples out and just walk down the side, carefully looking for the little spots. And then we'll go to the end.
Yep. Okay, you ready?
Yep, as we lift up, there it is.
Air in there, huh?
Yeah, vacuum.
Okay.
Okay, we'll just toss this off to the side here.
All right, I got it.
Okay, there we go.
All right.
Now, as we see, there's lots of stuff in top here, Ken.
Yeah.
So let's do this. We're going to unpack things, and we'll set it along the sides, and we'll go from there, and we'll explain what each piece is afterwards.
Now, one of the things is that we're trying to use less foam and more cardboard in our packaging so you can recycle the stuff, but we use a lot of spacer boxes. So it's really important that if you see a box, make sure that there's nothing inside of it. Rattle it, you can open it. I know this is kind of light, and so there's nothing in here, so I'm just going to go ahead and toss that one and the other spacer boxes too.
And we're going to have several like that.
Okay.
This piece alongside, some foam.
If you get your reformer around Christmas, save the boxes. You can give them to them as gifts. We like to repurpose stuff.
Okay, so here's another empty
Looks
one.
good to me.
Yep.
And this one looks good too.
No, I found one with some goodies in it.
Uh-huh.
Set that up here.
Okay.
Now this is going to be, this will be our carriage here. So I'm going to pull that off and set off to the side.
And this is going to be our sitting box, right?
Yes, sir. Now leave that foam in there so the footbar doesn't flip around.
Great.
Take those little pieces out here.
All right.
So I'm going to go ahead and take out the tower parts.
Okay.
Set them up on our workbench here.
And then you look down here, and inside all this waffle crating is the tower part. So I'll pull that out right now.
Okay. Let me get that. Help you with that cardboard.
All right.
You got caught on here. There it is.
Okay.
And I did find another dowel here, so we'll set that
Got
off
it.
to the side.
Okay.
And this is empty now. It's always important to make sure you got every little piece out of here, just in case.
But wait.
That should be it.
Okay.
Yeah, so let's go ahead and get this out of the way.
All right.
Make some room.
Okay. So we've got our boxes, our little boxes out of the big box. Now we're going to take the contents out of the little boxes and explain to you what they are. We'll put those aside, and then we'll start the assembly. So first thing is be safe. I'm only going to let this thing stick out maybe 1/8 of an inch or right about just 3 mils just to open up the boxes, okay? And be really safe here. Just score this stuff. And if you just score it, usually you can then at that point you can just get it started and you can tear it open.
Yep.
Okay. So in this box, we've got, these are going to be the shoulders for the reformer. There you go. And These have the quick locks. You want to make sure these are the posts now for the straps, and they'll go onto the shoulders. And then the other thing in this box is this is part of the mat conversion. And sorry about all that noise, you guys. I tried to make this easy by being more brutal. It doesn't always work. And this is kind of a funny looking piece. And we'll show you exactly what it does a little bit later.
Okay.
And that's all we have in this box. So we'll take care of that. The next one, this one's actually marked tower parts, okay? There's that guy.
All kinds of stuff here.
Your instructions, always important. Read them. These are the foot loops that go into the leg springs. These are the little rubber feet that are going to go into the drop-in pad. This is the safety chain, and we'll show you more about where the safety chain goes. Here we've got the handles with the leather straps and the wooden handles. And then these guys are these little spring covers. These are going to go under the bottom side of the push-through bar spring that connects to the reformer and to the push-through bar.
Perfect.
And last but not least, so we've got our springs here. I'm going to spend a minute here and talk about the differences of the springs. First of all, just notice that these springs are music wire or carbon steel, and the color is a little bit different from spring to spring. It's just kind of a normal thing. So I'll run through a little bit of what the differences are and what these springs do, and then we'll probably talk more about that later on in the video. So the first thing is you'll get like 3 of these guys, and these are the push-through bar springs. The one that has the carabiner on it, this guy, the carabiner goes to the tower, and then this one will go to the push-through bar.
Quick link on top.
The quick link on top, yes, sorry. Okay. These other two, these are going to go through the spring collars. Can you hand me one of those black
Actually,
collars?
this spring.
Yeah.
Lots of
that's right.
springs, guys. Lots of
Okay.
springs. So there you go.
So these guys will fit through here, and then they'll connect to the base of the reformer. And then this wire part, this part's going to connect to the reformer. And then this is going to slide down, and it's going to protect the pad and the reformer frame, okay? And there's 2 just like this.
Okay. We'll set these up here.
All right. Then these 2 big boys these are the leg springs, and they have clips on both ends. All right? Now, the ones that I think are the most confusing to look at is when you look at the arm springs and the roll-down bar springs, and you'll see that 2 of them have clips on both ends, and these are for the roll-down bar. And you'll see the other 2, they have a clip on one end, and these are your arm springs, and your handles go on this end. And I suggest you put the handles on them right away because it's easier to recognize them. So
Take care of that.
let's do that. And then there's one other way to identify these things. Actually, there's 2 other ways. And I'm going to explain that to you in a second. So we'll put these handles on really quickly. Thank you, Joe.
You're welcome.
All right. But one way you can recognize these springs, and I'm going to take these clips and put them into the back, is, and I'll do one of each, is that if you look at the, and this is a really cool thing. This is something that we spent a lot of time working because the original Contrology springs had these reduced necks on them. So if you look at the neck on the roll-down bar spring, you'll see that the neck is kind of reduced more than the neck on this guy right here. And so you can get a really good feeling for the differences between the two springs. The other thing is, if you can't see the difference between the necks, but you want to match the springs at least, there's this really fun test I learned from a spring guy like 40 years ago. And that's that if you take two springs that are exactly the same and you rub them against each other, they kind of lock. The coils lock together. But if you rub it against a spring that's a little bit different, you'll find out that the coils glide more. So if they're similar, they kind of lock. If they're dissimilar, they glide. Okay, that's enough spring stuff for now. So we'll pass these off, and we'll keep moving down.
Thank you.
Thank you, Joe. And the last but not least is, this is like the most important thing, guys. These are your Allen wrenches and your screws for attaching the tower. So, make sure that your boxes are empty and you don't throw this away, because if you don't have these tools, you're going to have to go to the hardware store. Okay, so let's put that here, okay?
I'll take that.
So, here's the box. Okay. More stuff for you guys. I have a feeling we're going to find in this one the roll-down bar. Watch out for the staples. Yep, you do.
Beautiful.
Okay.
I'll take both of those.
And then this guy in here is going to be, I have a feeling it's going to be the bar that goes with the reformer. Yep.
Okay.
Okay. And we'll get rid of this here.
Yes, sir.
Moving down here a little bit, we'll see what else we've got here. This is like Christmas because something. Oh, this is the carriage.
The carriage.
All right.
Yep.
All
It's
right.
very important. Be careful when you're cutting
Yeah.
the tape on this so you don't cut the vinyl.
Yeah, this is a big deal, guys. And what I'm going to do here is I think I'm going to open up this whole box from the top. And I'm kind of looking because now I can see what I'm cutting. All right. So here's our reformer carriage. And I think what I'm going to do right now is I'm just going to put this across the reformer right now, and then we'll get to that in a second, okay?
Yeah.
Carefully, right?
Yep.
I'm not going to slam this around, and I'm not going to drag it, because aluminum on aluminum is not a good thing. And then we now get to the, this is the box with the box, okay? And the reason why it's called the box with the box is because in this box, you've got a box.
And it's really important, once again, be
Yeah.
careful with any kind of sharp objects opening this.
What I do is I just kind of poke the tape and then it wants to rip. So that's kind of a cool deal here. And by the way, this has got one of those deals where if you let go of it, it falls back in. It's kind of safe. If you don't have the automatic retractor, make sure you stick the blade back in there as you kind of handle this thing around, because it's really sharp,
I'll take that from you.
Okay. I'm giving it to him, but I'm going to need it in a minute, but we'll see how it goes. Okay, kneeling pads, 2.
Yep.
All right. We've got this is going to be the spring bar. Something not to drop.
I'm going to go ahead and put that in right now.
Cool.
Basically, slip it in like so. With the
We're
hooks
gonna
facing
have-
up.
Good
And we
call.
go back across that again.
We've got here the 2 feet strap and then the extension straps. So we'll put, you want to just show how we put those on right now?
Sure.
Okay, good.
So, as you see the clips, there's the part you push with your thumb. When you hook this onto the eye bolt, you want to make sure that the hook portion is towards the center and the clip is towards the outside edge. That way it won't come loose, get caught up on anything. And you go ahead and put both of them on the same eye bolts. There we go.
This is something that I learned from Kathy Grant like probably 38 years ago. So it's just to have the eye bolts oriented away from the part that does the business so that you don't open the clips by accident, okay? So we've got left is the 2 extension straps that will, for like the long spine, for instance. I'll put that over here.
Okay.
We've got our leather straps, which are going to be in use shortly. We've got these really cool, now our reformer handles that have the contoured wooden grips on them. We've got the instructions, right side up. We have got here the Contrology adjustment block, right?
Yep, gear stopper
Gear
block.
stopper. These are really cool. We're going to get to these in a second, but these little pads are in case your floor is a little bit uneven. So you can put these underneath all 4 legs or just under 2 legs if you want, or even under 1 leg to kind of make sure your reformer is just sitting firmly on the ground. And you know, some people don't even need them at all. If you're on carpet, you know, they're just extra. So there you go. Then we've got our reformer springs, which we should probably just put.
Yep, that'll be the easiest thing. So with the reformer springs, you get 4 of them. Let me tear this open here so I can get them out. Toss this off. Now on the reformer springs, you have 2 ends. You have an end with a hook that's longer, and then a shorter end with just a hoop. The hook end goes to the carriage. And what you want to do when you put this on the carriage is make sure this open end is facing towards the floor when the carriage is put in position. So, thank you, Ken. What we're going to do is, I like to start like this with the carriage upside down, put through the hole, and fold the spring under. And as you'll see, the open section is facing towards the floor. Thank you.
Now we're actually at this point, well, before we actually put the carriage in, we'll finish this box.
Sure.
And so the last but not least is,
You will help with that?
yeah,
Get that vacuum.
they're not wasting any space in here. You'll see that your Contrology box comes with these cool little neoprene pads. And they're really just kind of positioners for the box when you put it on top of the shoulders, okay? And they're kind of optional, but if you want to put them in, it's really kind of simple. What you do is, and they also have PSA on the back. I don't actually think you need the PSA, but what you do is you put them in underneath here like this, and then you lift them up like that, and that's how they fit in. So not like this is how they come. This is how you do it. It's like this, like that, and zowie, they're in position, okay? That's all you do with these guys. And if you don't want to use them, don't use them. It's not a problem, okay? So it's just one of those things that we put in there to make your life a little bit simpler.
Let me just slide that out of our way so we have some walking room.
So the next step is we're going to now put the carriage in there. And and you were telling me earlier today, Joe?
Really important. We state this with all of our reformers, is to clean the tracks and wheels before you put the carriage in. I just take the rag and I like to just wipe down, make sure there's no packing material. Same on this side. And then the wheels, real easy. Just wipe around them. This way, make sure that we don't have any leftover foam or anything like that that could create a weird sensation when you're riding on the carriage.
Or schmutz.
Schmutz.
No one likes schmutz, right? Okay.
So now what we're going to do is we're going to lower the carriage in.
Okay.
2 people make it easier.
Yep.
So as we roll it, the springs are going to slip a little bit. And when we lower this down, do it real carefully so you do not scratch the frame.
Right.
Now the wheels will touch and can leave little black marks. Oh, here's one right here.
Holy cow, there's a black mark.
Oh no, Ken, what'd you do? What do we have now?
We have Purell, right? Hand sanitizer.
sanitizer.
Anybody not know what this is? Okay, so this is the deal. On your Contrology reformer, if it turns out that you've got a black mark and you don't like it, because it doesn't hurt, take a little bit of Purell and just do this. And
you got it.
And guess what? It's all gone. Best way to clean your reformer. And if you want to really be Gucci about this thing, next thing you do is go over with a little bit of furniture polish, paste wax.
Yep.
Hopefully something without silicone in it, and that'll keep it from getting tarnished, okay?
Yeah.
So this is a simple thing. Everybody should know this. Okay,
So now we have the carriage in place.
Yep.
Let's go ahead and I'm going to hook up a spring to keep it in position.
all right.
Oh, you know, that's perfect right there.
Uh-huh.
So what we'll do is we're going to take our leather straps, separate those, and get our nice wooden handles out. These things are great looking, nice feel. So what we're going to do is we're going to separate these. As you're going to notice, one end is going to have a ring, the other is going to have a quick link, and there's going to be a smooth side to the strap and a rough side of the strap. What we're going to do is we're going to take the end with the ring, and we're going to feed it up through the bottom of the caster wheel, making sure that the rough side is up against the wheel. So what we do, Ken, is I push it up through there, and I get a hold, and just pull it just like so.
Just like that.
Yep. And so as you see, there you go.
Perfect.
Now I just throw that over the side. Now we have our quick link. What we're going to do is open the quick link, there's a nut on it. Open it pretty wide. Then under the carriage in the front, there's an eye bolt. And we're going to just hook that onto the eye bolt and just tighten down that quick link. And that'll lock them in place so they don't fall off. And you don't have to cinch them down tight, overly tight, just with your fingers. And then you can clip your handles right onto the O-ring, or metal ring, I should say. There you go.
Now we have those special shoulder rests, removable shoulders, to accommodate the drop-in pad.
So we have two shoulder rests. Now, this is really important we show this, Ken. On the bottom side of the shoulder rest, you're going to notice that the bolts are in different positions. On both of these, they're towards the center. So that means there's a right and a left pair. Now, when you put them on, you want to make sure that when they're set on, the edges are flush with each other. Now, these are adjustable for width, I believe. This black post has got a threaded insert, and you're just going to screw it on here. And tight. Now, really important, you know if you got this on right, as long as this metal plate is flush. We have seen people put them on and tighten it down, and they don't have a flush, and the shoulder rest is tilted. So it's very important to make sure that they're flush like that. Now it gives you a place to hang your hand loop.
So Joe, how tight do these need to be?
I just give it a little bit of cinch.
Yeah.
You don't have to muscle it because they stay in place.
Yeah, they don't need, you don't need to really wrench on them, right?
Yep, yep.
Okay.
Now we got
Got
that set
And
up.
then these are in the same exact position as with those other traditional Contrology shoulder rests.
Yes, sir.
Just that now you've got this post here, and this will allow us to convert this to a tower really easily. Okay.
And then we
to go
also have the
flat.
extension straps.
Right.
If you want to show how those get installed.
Yep. So very simply, they just go inside, loop around, and now you're in business. It's really simple.
All right.
Okay.
Just leave those on there.
Okay. So
we-
we've got now our springs connected, our foot straps connected, we've got our straps connected. Basically, our reformer is built.
And we have one additional piece we get to talk about.
Okay.
This is our gear stopper block.
Got it.
So it allows you to position your spring bar in one of the three positions. Now, so if you put it in the middle position, position B, you slide that, the longer slot.
Yep.
Up against that.
You'll see you have just the same amount of slop here. Or
there's
slack.
slack in the spring.
Okay. And then at the same time, if you turn it around like this,
And you go to the C position.
yeah, so you see a short slot and a long slot, right? So now with the long slot towards the carriage, you have the same scenario here, okay? So it maintains the same spring slack at every single position.
So now we're going to convert to the tower.
Let's do it.
So first thing we want to do, let's unhook these springs right here. You get that block out of there. Now I'm going to put the spring bar in position A. Pull the carriage back. Just hook a spring on. Now we're going to take these shoulder rests off. All you have to do is give it a little bit of a twist, and then slide towards the carriage and right off.
I mean, what is this? Is it 2 turns? 1 turn?
Not even a full turn.
Yeah.
Just enough to reduce the pressure on them, they slide right off.
Okay.
We'll set these out of our way. Now, we're gonna go ahead and start putting that tower in. So we have a little baggie
Okay.
that we misplaced. Nope, I got it right here. I'm just kidding. This is typically what happens. You'll set it down someplace along with all the other things, and you can't find it. In the bag, you have 2 Allen wrenches and 4 little screws. Now,
are you going to talk about the little trick with the hole orientation?
well, that's first thing I was going to say is it's very important. Do not cut that zip tie holding the push-through bar, because it keeps the push-through bar from swinging through as you're trying to install this. Now, you could talk about that fancy little hole.
Anyway, when you look at this, it looks like the one side is the same as the other side, so it's really important to know. But it is really directional. So there's an inside and an outside. And the way you can tell the difference is that when you look down at the base here, you'll see these screw holes right here. And the screw holes go to the outside, okay? And they're really important because they actually get attached, all right? So, shall we lower this guy in?
Yes, sir.
All right. So, it's kind of important to get someone to help you or have someone that's kind of strong to orientate this without getting their fingers pinched.
There you go. They're both lined up.
Yeah.
So you go in. As you lower it down, Ken, you want to make sure and get these holes with the threads lined up with the holes here. It can be a little tight. Go ahead, a little lower, 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 a little lower. There, up. We went too far.
Okay.
Little bit up there.
Okay.
So, get 1 screw on either side. Perfect. And I'll get all 4 of them in. I like to put all 4 in with finger tight first, so Ken doesn't have to hold them. There we go. Now we can come back and tighten them with the Allen wrench. I'm going to use the long end to quickly twist it. There we go.
You know, once I get it to the right height, I kind of pull it towards me and I allow the friction to hold it into place.
Oh, okay. That's a good idea.
Yeah. And then I've also done this where one person holds the bar, but like you would position it in the hole, and then once you get it positioned, then I hold it in place.
Okay.
Because I can't see it.
Now I'm going to just give it a little tightening. You don't have to tighten this with all your might. Just give it a... It stops. Do that on all 4 screws. And actually, we get over here. You can feel that tightening right up. And there we are.
4 screws does it?
4 screws does it. Pretty
Amazing.
simple.
Yeah. Okay.
Now we can cut that zip tie. Let's find our safety knife over here.
We didn't lose the knife already?
Oh, nope, set it down in the safe
Okay.
spot.
All right.
And then we can pull this off here. And it's just masking tape, so it should come off pretty easy. There we go.
Okay.
Now we're going to drop in the Mac conversions.
Okay.
What I think we have to do first is set up the Mac conversion.
Mm-hmm. So let's get this out of here. How about I lift it up?
I got the bag. Perfect.
All right.
Got a bag to put all your trash in. Now, there was a bag that we pulled out. Had these 4 little rubber feet. So what we're going to do is install those. They're for the Mac conversion. Now, there's little holes with inserts on all 4 corners. So don't have to screw them in too tight. Here you go, Ken. I'll give you 2 and I'll do 2.
Okay.
There it is.
Okay.
Now we need to slide the carriage up towards the riser end.
Okay.
Carefully roll it up. We're going to fold the foot bar in,
Okay.
and then we're going to drop the Mac
We're
conversion
going
in.
to drop this guy in there. And these metal brackets go towards the foot bar end, and we'll tell you about those in a minute.
Yep.
All right?
The little cutouts go right above the foot bar
Yeah.
brackets.
Okay,
There
they
you
go
go.
like this.
Oh, that's nice.
Now, some guys will just put this down here like that and let it go to get rid of it, okay?
Now here's this piece.
Uh-huh. Yeah, so when we did this, we didn't feel like this was totally finished just to have it like this. So we made this little drop-in piece here, because we just like to have things that are kind of finished. So that goes in like this, that goes like this goes down, and that's it. So everything is padded, there's no exposed metal there. Okay,
So
we got more stuff here.
We have safety chains. Now there's 2 long ones and 1 short one. Let me pull them out. We'll lay these out so you can tell which one's which. I would assume that would be the long one. And this is a long one.
2 long ones. Okay, got it. So we'll start with this guy here,
Okay.
which is basically just the holds the bar up when it's in position, and it goes here because we don't want this to be right in the center of this guy right there. And then these guys, you see how there's carabiners here?
Yeah, as you say, you're using the quick links on top.
Yes, quick links are all on the top. And we just use these because they, since they never come apart anyway, except for when you intentionally want to do it, it's just important to, we just like using quick links.
There's no spring load to them, so nothing can knock them
Yeah,
loose real easily.
Right. Okay. And then the safety chains just go on like this. Again, Kathy Grant, you guys, the business end goes out. All right? That's how that guy goes. And then when you're not using it, that's what this is up here for, okay? And you can either connect it sideways like this, which is kind of one way to do it, or you can wrap it around. It's kind of how you feel, okay? So let's now...
We have the springs here with the collars on them. Ken, you want to show them how to put those on?
Yeah, let's do that.
Okay, there you go.
So remember, we got these springs here, and we have one open hook here, okay? And that's going to go in here, and it's going to go from the inside out, okay? Sometimes these springs just want to do what they want to do here. And it will go on. There we go. Okay. So this goes like this. And then these guys would be bottom-mounted springs, okay? So we go like this. All right?
Oh, and I see the spring protectors slide all the way down, and they
Right.
protect the metal.
Exactly.
Excellent.
Okay? That's how those guys would go. Now, we've got an array of other ones.
Well, we have a roll-down
Roll-down
bar
bar.
here, and we have a couple of roll-down springs. They're the ones that we didn't hook the handles up to. Here you are, sir.
Got it. Okay. So these guys, and I'm just going to undo this for right now because it's going to be in our way for purposes of the demonstration. And I think I can just leave this down for now. So roll down bar guys go
On top.
go here. Really simple. And remember, these are the guys that have harness snaps on both sides.
Let's make sure we put those facing outward.
Ooh, good call, Joe. Okay, and that's the roll down bar. Now
we
we've
have
got
some leg springs,
leg springs,
and we have our foot loops.
and they typically would get, yes.
There you go. Thank you, sir.
Okay. And for right now, we're just going to hang these guys here, just as a place to go. And then last but not least.
No, we have,
Okay. We've got this guy here, which is your upper spring, okay? And this one has a carabiner at the top.
quick link.
Quick link, excuse me. I keep getting that messed up here.
That's why I'm
And,
here, to keep
and,
you
and,
honest.
and when I'm on camera, I get clockwise and counterclockwise mixed up. Okay. So I'm going to just do the outside because I like that better. Okay. So that guy takes care of that one.
And there's your
And
arm
then-
springs.
And then here's your arm springs. So you're ready to go. Okay, and I'll put these down right here. Oh, but here, one more thing. If you're thinking, if it occurred to you with this mat system, and you think to yourself, wouldn't it be cool if there were handles on this mat for the reformer? Mat, drop in. So guess what, you guys? It is cool. We think it is. So
Is that
we
what
have-
these are?
We have these optional handles here, and they actually fit into these slots.
So there's this, the metal plate Ken was talking about, there's a little slot.
Mm-hmm.
You just slide that in that slot, and then lower the
Yep,
mat down.
Lower it down. And I got it by the loop here. And
There you go.
there you go. That's it, you guys. Here's your Contrology reformer with the tower, the spring arrangements, assembled, ready to go. And this whole video is probably going to take 15 minutes. It might take you 20 or 25 to do this. If you have any questions at all about how this works, if anything doesn't seem quite right, just call 800 Pilates or send us an email to, what is it? To info@pilates.com. We actually do pick up the phone here. We actually do answer our emails. We're pretty quick, as long as, you're just not in like Korea and you call us, at 1 a.m. in the morning our time, but we'll get to you, and we'll get to you quickly. So anyway, call us if you have any questions. It's been a pleasure. Thanks a lot, and we'll see you next time at Pilates Garage.